Namaste to all. Welcome to our Sunday Prakarana Grantha. So we will be continuing with the Mano Maya Kosha today. So interesting. All these verses are interesting. Adi Shankaracharya adds a lot. So let us begin first with opening prayers and also the opening prayers for the Tattvabodha and Vivekachudamani. Start. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dayakaram Dayakaram Dantam Dharma Pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya Varam Param. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnanapradam Gurum Mumukṣo Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Bhidiyate Sarva Vedānta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Satgurum Pranatosmyaham. So we were, as I said, seeing the Mano Maya Kosha, or the sheath of the mind, mental sheath. So just to refresh, what is this sheath? So these are all different models, prakriyas given in the Shastra. And it is a way of seeing each individual. How is an individual, what is an individual composed of? We're again composed of, we're talking about the mithya part of the individual, the anatma part of the individual, that which is separate from atma. In the beginning of the inquiry in Vedanta, we separate atma from what is not atma, right? So what is not atma? Panchakoshas, we make mistake in these 5 levels. So they are not 5 coverings and sheets. We saw that in the ordinary understanding of cover. They are mistakes we make on 5 levels of understanding how we take ourselves. So Shastra, we saw, the I mistakes itself to be the physical body. So we had negated the I cannot be the physical body. Why? Because physical body is an object of my experience. I know my physical body. I know how the physical body works. I see my physical body. My physical body is available for sense perception, as is the rest of the world, right? I see many objects in the world. If I see a donkey or I see a monkey sitting here, but I don't take myself to be a donkey or monkey. It is an object of my knowledge. I perceive it. So in the same way, physical body also is available for all my sense organs. What does that mean? It means that it cannot be I. There is somebody, the I objectifies the physical body. So physical body we negated. Then we came to Pranamaya Kosha, the prana system, the physiological functions that happen, the circulation, digestion, respiration, all of these physiological functions, are they I? When I say I am thirsty, I identifies with pranamaya kosha. But I am not hunger, I am not thirst. Why? Because I am aware of my hunger. I know when I'm hungry. I know when I'm thirsty. I know my physiological conditions. I know, meaning I am the knower. I am separate from what is known. This is the rule in Vedanta. The I, the knower, is separate from whatever is known. So I am not the physical body. I am not the pranamaya kosha, the pranic body, then the next level of analysis in Vedanta is, am I the manaha aspect? Am I the mind? Manomaya kosha. Now, again, let us understand what this mind is. In Shastra, the mind that we say in English is divided into different aspects of thinking, different thoughts. And these are all, varying thoughts that we have in the, our mind from time to time. So the mind here, manomaya kosha, is a particular type of thinking. It is manaha aspect of thinking. What is this manaha aspect? It is the emotional you. It is the psychological you. That is why Adi Shankaracharya spends so much time on this kosha. Because this is the basic place where we make mistake about the I. We take the I to be the thoughts. We take this I to be the emotions. The I gets trapped in this kosha. The I gets confused mainly in this kosha. So when we talk about liberation, we talk about moksha, we talk about freedom from sorrow, freedom from insecurity, freedom from all sense of lack, all sense of inadequacy. Who is being free? We have to ask this question. Is the physical body getting free? No. Physical body will go back, as we've seen. The physical body will return to the earth. The physical body will just disintegrate like all other bodies. Then is the mind, this mind that I am, is that what is free? Is that what seeks freedom? Here, the mind is the seat of your desires. When we say manaha, it is the seat of your emotional self. When you say, I want something, I don't want it, I'm going after this, I don't want to go after this, when we talk about our desires, we are involved in manomaya kosha. The I is invested in manomaya kosha. There is a beautiful line in Lalita Sahasranama, Icha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. I think that is the order, or whatever order it is. This is the line, and Icha Shakti is the power of desire. So actually, this Icha Shakti, power of desire, is the manomaya kosha. In all people, we have that. So Icha Shakti means goddess resides in my manaha. There is nothing wrong with desire. So Shastra never says we should not have desire. Shastra never says get rid of desires. See, that is why uh, Satya Sai Baba used to say, sealing on desires. He used to talk about sealing on desires. Also, many masters, they never talk about getting rid of desires, because you cannot get rid of a divine expression in yourself. Icha Shakti is a Shakti. It is a God-given power in you, power to desire. But the mistake we make is that we think by fulfilling our desire, we will be fully satisfied. This is the basic error in this kosha. When the I is identified with manomaya kosha, I take myself to be limited. I take myself to be inadequate. I take myself to be dissatisfied. So that feeling, I am not okay as I am now. I am not good. I'm not good as I am now. So I have to fulfill a desire to feel happy, right? This is Manomaya Kosha thinking. If I fulfill this desire, what does Manomaya thinking do? If I fulfill this desire, I will be full and complete. If I fulfill this desire, I will feel happy and satisfied. And what do we find? In life, we work, 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 and we earn to fulfill desires, to gain objects of our desire. And it is not wrong what the mind says. I do feel, for a moment, I feel complete. When I fulfill the desire, what happens? The object and subject become fused. The subject I and the object that I wanted become one. In fact, in the fulfillment of desire, I experience Advaita. non-duality. That is called non-duality. The seeker and the sought become one, they're fused into one. And in that fusion of oneness, what happens? There is joy. There is pleased self. That is called joy, pleasure, pleased self. And everybody, every human being wants only that in life. Everyone is after only that pleased self. But what do we get? For a while, the self is pleased, right? This is why the mistake is made. For a while, I feel whole. But suddenly, what happens to the mind? The mind changes again. Because the very nature of manomaya kosha is constant change. One desire will always be replaced by another desire. The moment you fulfill one desire, another one is also going up on the list already. Already the next one is there on the list, because no one desire can fulfill you totally, can fulfill you completely. So here the manaha is a very important sharira to understand, very important kosha to understand. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam antahkarana vrittihi. So another definition of mind is that which is always fluctuating, like a monkey jumping here. People say monkey mind. Mind definition in the scripture is monkey mind. So if your mind is jumping around here and there, you are a very normal person. You're not abnormal. Everybody's mind is the same. It will go from thought to thought. Manaha means fluctuating thoughts. And these frames of thoughts keep changing. Depending on, again, I'm influenced by these gunas. We saw in the previous verse last week, sattva, rajas, tamas, these gunas are pervading the universe. And these gunas have impact on me as well because they're prakriti. So the whole universe is made of these three gunas, which constitute material cause of Ishvara, of Bhagavan. They are prakriti, material cause. Same material cause pervades individual mind, body, senses. Same material cause. What is in the universe is the same body, mind, senses, and the five elements and elementals. So I will also be influenced by sattva, rajas, tamas. So when I wake up in the morning, mind is a little, slow to get up. There is, someone very beautifully said, there is a big gap between waking up and getting up, right? So I wake up, but getting up is a bit longer. That waking up is when the rajas starts, in the morning. Slowly the rajoguna starts in the morning, and then all beings, human beings included, we slowly start the day. But before rajas kicks in fully, what guna is predominant? That's why they say Brahma Muhurtam. You take to meditation because sattva guna is there. Mind and the thoughts are relatively still in the morning. So if you do meditation, certain practices in the morning, these are all recommended by many of the masters, then it'll really help you, bless you, because the mind is not fully active in the morning. So this manaha aspect of the mind is very good to manage early in the morning. Because if you start managing the mind early in the morning, your whole day gets managed as well. So a little bit of meditation, even 5-10 minutes early in the morning, you will find your whole day becomes more peaceful. If more you practice these techniques, the more peace you will have in your interaction when rajas fully kicks in your workplace and wherever you go. So here, the vrittis keep changing and they go from one object to another. This is how I interact with the world. I see an object, I interact with it. I see a person, I interact with it. So life is relating. We can't escape relating in life. We have to relate with the world. And this relating with the world becomes pressure. We are not able to relate freely with the world. We feel bound by the world. We feel also affected by the world. We feel, again, the world sometimes enters us and we get disturbed by the world. So here is where Adi Shankaracharya says, if you understand your mind, you will be able to deal with the world much freer. So he says here, he brings here that mind is the cause for your restlessness. Where I am restless, when you say, the I is actually invested in manomaya kosha and you're making a mistake. When you say, I am disturbed, you're making a mistake. The I, which is the real you, is never disturbed. The I, the real you, is never restless. It is like the depths of the ocean. You know, depths of the ocean. When you go into the ocean, all the storms and the waves are on the surface. Everything is taking place on the surface. When you dive deep into the ocean, where is there disturbance? There is no disturbance. Your I is just like that. The self, Atma, is undisturbed despite all the disturbances, despite all the restlessness on the surface. So, mind is very important to understand because the mind is where your reactions happen in life. You react to people, you react to situations, and your whole life is spent going up and down. With good things happening, your mind will be happy. Things that you don't like happening, mind will become sad. So this is what he says here. He carries on in the 175th verse of Vivekacūḍāmaṇiḥ. He says, vivekavairāgyaguṇātirekā cchuddhatvamāsādya mano vimuktyai bhavatyato buddhimato mumukṣo stābhyāṃ dṛḍhābhyāṃ bhavitavyamagre. When the mind has been made pure through what? He says here, through the cultivation of discriminative analysis, viveka. Viveka is discriminative analysis, and we'll see what he's talking about. Two things, two Ds. Discriminative analysis of what the world can give you, and dispassion. When the mind has been made pure with these two qualities, then you can head towards liberation, he said. Then moksha is very close. So the wise seeker of moksha, liberation, has to learn to strengthen these two qualities in themselves. So you have to learn through your own efforts to strengthen the qualities. They are not going to just happen to you. You have to make effort through sadhana, through prayer, through certain practices, to strengthen the mind so it becomes sattva guna pradhana. We saw in the Bhagavad Gita, whole of life, the karma yoga lifestyle, meditation, all of this is to make sattva guna predominant. When the mind is sattvic, what happens? Viveka happens. You can really do discriminative analysis of what the world can give you. You know, Socrates was a great Greek philosopher. And he said something very nice. He said, an unexamined life is not worth living. Because then we become like animals. Unexamined life is like animalistic life. You just eat, sleep, procreate, enjoy, and die off. One life gone. Then another birth. You have to take another body, another birth. We don't know where we're going to come. As I said, we have no idea. Supercomputer, Bhagavan, Ishvara decides where you will come. And then you go through, again, if you go through another life without examining, what happens? Bye-bye, tata, enjoy. You know, you live whole life, suddenly you drop off. Body drops off. Then another journey. Sukshma Sharira, we saw, subtle body takes on another body. So examine the life. Examine because Swami Dayananda beautifully said, Vedanta doesn't really teach you anything. Life teaches you. Vedanta helps you assimilate your life. So your life is the big school for you. Life experiences are what really teach us. And we have to examine what our life has given us. And this is called Viveka analysis. What is permanent? What has ever been permanent in my life? Number one, Viveka. We saw this Nitya, Anitya, Vastu, Vivekaha. What is permanent? Has anything been with me from the time I entered to now? No. So it is anitya. whole Jagat is anitya. It is impermanent. It is transient. It has a nature of coming and going. Everything that is born in time will go in time. However much you want things to remain, things keep changing. Okay? This is number one rule. The only constant in life is change. The only constant in life is change. So remember that things are always going to come and go. That is the first Viveka that we do. So the bad news, bad news, there's a bad news and good news. Bad news is what? Nothing lasts forever. The good news is what? Nothing lasts forever. Same, bad news is nothing lasts forever. Good news also is nothing lasts forever. Because when I'm going through painful situations, what should I remember? Nothing lasts forever. When I'm going through pleasurable situations, I have to also, when I'm going through pleasurable situations, I have to remind myself it does not going to last forever. Enjoy it while it lasts. Not that you're going to be worried, oh, it's going to go soon. Suppose I'm on holiday. I've gone on a nice trip and my family are with me. I'm enjoying everything. But I had a Vedanta class where Viveka was highlighted. And somebody has picked up the good news is nothing lasts forever. The bad news is also nothing lasts forever. Okay. And they take the bad news. Oh my God, this is going to go now. Viveka, I have to do Viveka. This is not going to last now. I can't enjoy myself fully because I've only got one day of holiday left, only 5 minutes to go before I take the taxi. So all this, mind will be perturbed. That is not what is being said with Viveka here. Viveka is seeing things as they are. Things as they are is that nothing lasts forever. Whether it is a negative, situation, unpleasant, or it is a positive thing, we enjoy life as it comes. That is what this understanding will give you. When a pleasant situation comes, I enjoy it while it lasts. I don't crave for it after. Problem is we start craving for it. Then if unpleasant situation comes, I accept and I go through it without becoming too depressed. Of course, we don't like unpleasant, and mind will become, it cannot be totally buoyant. It cannot be always happy when unpleasant things happen. But if I trust in Ishvara, that's why Bhagavan becomes very important in life. When I'm going through the unpleasant situations, that is when my bhakti comes to fullest. If I know nothing can happen without Bhagavan's will, if I know Bhagavan is the infallible order of karma and dharma, if I understand Bhagavan is what is manifesting for me, then my mind will not resist Ishvara. My mind will not resist what is happening. So this is called Viveka. This is number one Viveka. Now, once I do this Viveka, then Purushartha Viveka also comes. Purushartha Viveka means then I know I am after the permanent. See, many things impermanent now I have recognized. World gives me impermanent. But there is a longing in me, urge in me, which is for happiness. Everybody has the urge. It is to be happy all the time. So there is an urge in me for what is permanent. And I can't deny the urge. So where do I fulfill this urge? Just like I fulfill my urge of thirst and hunger through food and through water, how do I fulfill this urge to be happy? So that is where Upanishads, Vedanta, all of this come into the picture, and they tell you the urge to be happy always can be fulfilled by discovering you are the nature of happiness. You are the very nature of happiness. You are the nature of joy. And this urge can be fulfilled through understanding your true self. So this is called Purushartha Vivekaha. Once Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka has come, then Vairagya starts developing. See, Vairagya is often translated as detachment. There is no detachment, as I've said before, nothing gets detached from anything else. It is understood as dispassion. See, dispassion means I recognize what I am doing is going after impermanent. Now, if I keep living this life going after impermanent, can I gain permanent through going after impermanent? Anyone with one brain cell can see that you cannot gain permanent by constantly going after impermanent. So I recognize first, I am not going to get what is permanent through the way I'm living my life. So what I really want is permanent. Then this is called vairagya. Seeing the absence of connection between what you want and what you are doing is called dispassion. It's a very important definition. Seeing the absence of connection between what I want and what I do in life. When you see the absence of connection, you are automatically detached, automatically dispassionate. You don't need to make effort to become dispassionate. You don't need to avoid the world in order to develop dispassion. You can be in the world, but your mind recognizes this world is not going to fulfill me. This is called dispassion. So once I recognize this, Viveka leads to Vairagya, dispassion, and then my goal becomes clear in my life. Moksha, we have understood, we have seen what moksha is. According to the Shastra, it is freedom from all sense of insecurity, of longing, of feeling small and insignificant. That is our Vedanta unfoldment of moksha, what everybody in life wants actually. Whole humanity is going after moksha, but they don't know it. The only thing with Vedanta, when you study Vedanta, you start recognizing this is what I want. What I want is moksha. But anybody you ask in the world, wherever they are, whatever language, culture they come from, every human being's drive is moksha. They want this alone. They don't know it though, and they don't know how to get it. That is where the Shastra becomes a means of knowledge to discover you're free already. You are already the form of completeness, of limitlessness, of joy. You don't need to do anything external. You don't need to acquire anything. You need nothing to make you happy. You just think you need. So this is the recognition that moksha is the main goal. He says here, cchuddhatvamāsādya guṇātirekā. Increase these two virtues then. Work on it. Keep seeing the doshas, the limitations of what the world and fulfilling desire after desire has given you. See it. Then spiritual goal becomes number one on your list. Everything else is just a means to gain the spiritual success, spiritual goal. So once you get these two qualities, we saw in sadhana chatushtaya sampattihi, if you remember, first two qualities were what? Viveka vairagya. Because once you got these, others are so easy to gain. They will just come to you. You don't need to make effort. These are the two you have to make effort in. Vimuktyai bhavati. He says, vimuktyai bhavati. He becomes fit for moksha. Once you have Viveka and Vairagya, you can get fitness for moksha. Agre stābhyāṃ dṛḍhābhyāṃ bhavitavyam. So it means that you gain, once you get this, then you are qualified for Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. Fully you can devote to that. Once you get these two qualifications for spiritual growth, for spiritual life, you become qualified to study Vedanta and for Vedanta to bless you in your day-to-day life. That is the most important thing. Vedanta becomes a blessing for you. So he says, Adi Shankaracharya says here, make them strong in you. Make them strong and dṛḍhābhyāṃ. Don't return to attachments, samsara life. In the next, next verse, he is going to give a warning for the spiritual seeker. So he gives this warning. Warning means watch out for the traps on the path. Watch out for the obstacles on the path and stumbling blocks. Number one stumbling block, he says, mano nāma mahāvyāghro viṣayāraṇyabhūmiṣu caratyatra na gacchantu sādhavo ye sādhavo ye mumukṣavaḥ. So what does he say here? There is a huge tiger. There's a tiger in one's life. This tiger is the mind. And this mind prowls the jungle because tigers live in jungles. What is this jungle? The tiger goes through the jungle of sense pleasures, of sense objects. So the tiger of the mind is prowling through the jungle of sense objects. He says, let not the virtuous people, the people with good qualities, who want liberation, the mumukṣus, who are craving for spiritual success, let not them fall into this trap. This aspiration for liberation should be kept up throughout life, and don't get into the jungle of sense pleasures with the tiger of the mind, he says. It's a warning, because this mind causes attachments. Number one, what causes attachment? We say physical attachment. Are we really physically attached to each other? No, we are not. We are physically, we're individuals, right? Unless you're they have these conjoined twins. Suddenly the twins are attached, on the head or on the arm. That's the only way physical bodies can be attached. So physically, we have no problem. Even though we talk about physical attachment, we are not physically attached. My child can be living somewhere in United States and I'm living here, Physically, we are totally in thousands of miles away from each other. Then where is attachment? Again, mano maya kosha. Manomaya kosha is where attachments happen. So he's giving a warning here. Don't let life develop into attachments. Nip it in the bud. We saw that. So he said, he'll give some Shastra also. We talk about it. How to nip your attachments in the bud. How not to get too drawn in. Because the mind can eat, the tiger can destroy the seeker. The tiger is a ferocious animal. It can actually destroy the seeker. viṣayāraṇyabhūmiṣu, in the land of sense objects, in the forest of sense objects, this tiger of the mind, if you let it wander, it is going to eat everything and anything it's going to kill everything as well. So, there is a very beautiful, this is just on the side, Sanskrit language, right? Objects of the world, there are two words, many words, but objects, okay? When we say objects in English, what does it mean? We don't know etymology and all this science. We don't know. It could have a meaning. But in Sanskrit, the word for object is viṣaya, okay? There's one word for object, viṣaya. There's another word for object, padartha. In some Indian languages also, I know maybe in Telugu, in Tamil, padartha means object. Okay. So from Sanskrit, pada in Sanskrit means word. Artha means meaning. So whole Jagat actually is word and meaning. Object is actually word and meaning. You see the word pot, if I say, you see that object, pot, it's a word. And in your mind, meaning takes place. Whole universe is word and meaning. So for a wise person, actually, this world will have no problem because they will see everything as word and meaning, padarthas. So these padarthas don't affect the realized person. They don't affect the realized person. But the same object, if you see as viṣaya, what is viṣaya in Sanskrit? Viṣaya means vichinoti bhadnati iti viṣayaha. See, viṣaya, same object. It means that which has the ability to bind you is called object. How beautiful. You have two words to say one thing in Sanskrit, but it is your perception of the thing that binds you or frees you. When you see the world as padarthas, you are free. Word and meaning, you are a free person. If you see the world as viṣayas, you are capable of becoming attached to those objects. Objects include people also. So he says here, mano nāma mahāvyāghro. There's a powerful tiger of the mind wandering about in this jungle of objects called vishayas, because they can create attachment to you, for you, any moment, any time, any place. You just have to go into a supermarket or a shopping mall, right? It's enough to see. You never had any desire for anything. You just had a list, maybe three things: milk, bread, butter. That's it. You go to the supermarket, especially in the West. Supermarkets are huge, and you have aisles and aisles. But inevitably, what happens? Bread, milk, butter is bought, but 100 million other things are also bought. Because suddenly, oh, I don't have this. I want to try this. Let's try this one. I didn't try this. It's a very interesting thing to see. So this is called the tiger wandering around the sense objects of supermarkets, sense pleasures. And there's nothing wrong with experiencing. But what Adi Shankaracharya is saying is that you may develop a binding attachment to something. See, this binding attachment to something, suppose you try something new, and then you can't stop having that thing. You're morning, I have to have, you go to the supermarket, you discover a new brand of coffee. Sometimes, there's so much coffee. So you discover this new brand of coffee. Then the next morning you have that coffee. Oh my God, it is fantastic coffee. I've never tasted coffee like this. And slowly the coffee, it goes down and you can't drink any more coffee. So you give up all, even if people offer you coffee when you go to their homes. No, it is not the coffee I have. I want my coffee. That is the coffee I like now. So already binding like has been developed. And then what happens? You run out of coffee. Then you have to go to the supermarket and you look, and you find the coffee is sold out. Then you can't bear it. Some people are like that. They can't bear it. Next morning, I don't have that coffee. I can't face my day without that morning coffee. That is called bondage. The coffee has gained the ability to dictate your state of mind. When the sense objects gains the ability to dictate your state of mind, then that is called bondage. This is called attachment. This is what Adi Shankara is saying. Don't go to that place, because very painful. It ends up being painful. Not just objects. It happens with situations. It happens with people. People we get very attached to. See, people, that's another thing altogether. Deep attachment, bondage created in relationships is a big obstacle in spiritual life. You can develop a binding attachment, especially in families with children, with parents, all of this, with spouse. This becomes binding attachment. When it becomes binding, what happens? Shoka will be the consequence, sorrow. So that is why he's saying, don't get there in the first place. You learn to live in harmony, learn to live with the objects. You enjoy the objects, you enjoy the relationships, you enjoy situations. Whenever Bhagavan gives you the opportunity to enjoy the company of people you love, nothing wrong with that. You enjoy, but you always understand too much emotional investment in anything or anyone will always be a source of sorrow for you in your life eventually. So we have to be very wary. Adi Shankaracharya is saying this not for everybody, okay? It is for people interested in spiritual life. So we have to be clear. He's specifying the person he's giving advice to. If we go out, and I say this to everybody, I'm standing in, if I go to a supermarket, now we're talking about supermarkets. If I go to Tesco's in London and I shout this, don't get attached to sense objects. They're going to, people think I'm a crazy nut, right? They'll say, what is this person talking about? Nobody will listen to me. So it is very specifically oriented, this advice. He says, for people interested in spiritual success, you have to live more alert than other people. Other people can live the way they want. But if you want moksha, you have to make some sacrifices. Sacrifices in the way of living alertly. You can't just go after everything and anything. You can't see mind wants to, mind likes this, you go after it. No, he's saying don't. Atra na gacchanti, atra na gacchantu. He's giving specific advice here. He says, don't go near that forest beforehand. Don't go near means mentally near. You may be mentally close, you can't help. Go into a supermarket with a list. What you need, you get. See, it's a sadhana. Whatever you need, you just buy that and leave. That's it. This is a spiritual sadhana, something to be practiced. Even if the eye falls on something else, something new, ask the mind, do I really need that? Why is the mind craving for this? I already have what I want on my list. This is how a spiritual seeker will question the mind. So, atra na gacchantu, he gives order. Don't go near the objects. Ye mumukṣavaḥ sādhavo, the seekers, he specifies, the seekers of liberation, the seekers of freedom. If you wish to be eventually free from sorrow, if you wish to gain liberation, don't get emotionally entangled with anything or anyone. There's this very nice story. It's a Shastra story about a monkey. So this monkey used to, wreak havoc in a farm and take all the bananas all the time. So the owner wanted to know how to trap this monkey. Wanted to also, he had a few brains. So he said very simply, he was advised by a wise person to put a jar there where the monkey comes in the banana, plantation, and put a jar with the banana inside. So this monkey is very, very fascinated with this jar. It comes, and what does it do? Immediately, it sees the banana in the jar, and what does it do? Hand goes inside. So hand goes inside and grabs the banana. But what does it find? When it's trying to lift the banana out of the jar, it cannot, because it's not going to come out with the hand. Yet it's not willing to drop the banana. It still has a hand. So the owner was able to catch the monkey. The same way, we go after sense objects like this, and we don't understand. Moment we grab it, it's trapped us, and we're not able to remove our hand from it. And the easiest thing to do is what? How do I get my hand out? Let go of the banana. Just let go of the objects. The letting go is what we call not getting emotionally entangled. If it is with me, I'm fine with it. See, if the monkey had viveka, what would the monkey say? Okay, if it's with me, it's fine. If it's not with me, fine. I'll be free of it, right? That is called intelligent living. So Swami Chinmayananda used to say, this allowing things, the sense objects to disturb your mind, you have to have like an invisible board in front of you, no entry without permission. Nothing should enter your eyes without your permission. No entry to your ears or your nose or your mouth or your skin, whatever the sense organs bring in, no entry without permission. So stop at the earliest stage. Stop this going after at the earliest stage. Like in second chapter of Gita, Krishna says, dhyato viṣayān pumsaha. The moment the mind starts dwelling on something, stop it, nip it in the bud. Don't go there. And then when you keep doing this practice, you will discover, like that monkey, if it drops a banana, you will discover freedom. That is called initially relative freedom. You need a relatively free mind in order to discover an absolutely free mind. So Manomaya kosha is a very important kosha. I'm going to stop it here for today, because the next kosha, the next verse, he talks about the mind being the cause for entering into the life of samsara. So he brings in now the reason why we become trapped. We become trapped in this life of becoming. Samsara means life of becoming, always wanting to be more than I am right now. And why we get trapped? It is manomaya kosha, that traps us into this life of becoming. And it is only Manomaya Kosha that can free us from this life as well. But there's a saying, no? Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandhamochayoho. Mana eva manushyanam. Amongst all beings, it is the mind that is the cause for liberation or the cause for bondage. You have to choose. Am I going to turn the key to the right and become free, or am I going to turn the key to the left and become bound? So we'll see more about the Manomaya Kosha next week. Any questions you all have, you can always write me. I will answer in the next session. Everybody can benefit. So it's always nice when we get the questions, because other people also find benefit from the questions. So I'll answer them next time. Okay, we'll meet for more Manomaya Kosha. May you have a Viveka Vairagya filled week ahead. Hari Om. ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम नमस्ते to all हरि ओम